Hey guys, it's Mr. Burns here. We're going to look at some of the tough ones on the legislative branch quiz that you took back in January. Also, government concepts, federalism, separation of powers, checks and balances were also on this quiz. So let's go right into number two. Number two should have been a little bit easier. I thought this was, legislative, executive, judicial, three branches of government, separation of powers. About 1 out of 5 of you missed that one. And then number three, was another one that wasn't, I thought was pretty basic. National level supreme. Think about the 9-box chart. National level's on top of the 9-box chart, and that shows that that level of government is supreme. National state constitution are not equal. The national government is supreme. Then whatever the national government doesn't have its hand in terms of laws, state governments work with those reserved powers. Question 4 was really disappointing. A lot of you picked separation of powers here. And I think you just looked at the chart and saw things side by side and said, oh, it's separation of powers. But it says national government, it says state government, and it says both, right, concurrent. And when you're dividing things between national and state government, that's federalism. And it's on the left side of the 9-box chart because it's kind of going down. Now, I thought more of you would have a better understanding of these concepts, federalism, checks and balances, separation of powers, because we did that DBQ. So these things we had, at this point when we took this quiz, you were already working in the documents, you already had read the background essay, you were starting to kind of get your ideas together for your buckets. I think a lot of you just kind of read this one real quick and didn't take your time. 6 was a little bit more specific of an answer, but you had to know what commerce meant. Commerce being the correct answer. And commerce means trade, or business. We regulate trade with foreign nations. That's what the U.S. federal government does, the legislative branch, right? They also regulate trade between states. A was executive branch. C and D we hadn't talked about at this point, judicial branch. So B was the only one we had talked about at this point of the unit. Okay, question 9. I expected this one to be a little more challenging, but not this difficult. So all those things in the chart, you'll notice, are all things. Social Security came up in the 1930s and the New Deal. Dr. Martin Luther King was fighting for civil rights in the 50s and 60s. We had the selective service system where they established the military draft. That wasn't until World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Vietnam. And then we have our guidelines here of special needs, right? Students with special needs, this is kind of more of a recent development education. All these things were created well after the Constitution was made to keep up with kind of current and future events. So that's going to be D, implied powers. Right? All right, we got number 10 next. You could have just really read the answer choices and known the answer. At this point of the quiz, we had only talked about the legislative branch, so C and D could have been crossed out. And we only had talked about the national level, so A could have been crossed out, B being the correct answer. A lot of you picked executive branch, which is surprising because at this point of the unit, the legislative branch is the only topic that we had discussed. So D and C should have been gone right away. Okay, you got to keep in mind what the quiz is on. Okay, it's very important to understand what the quiz is on. All right, 12 is really the last one where a lot of you struggled. You had to pick out which of these is a concurrent power. And if you were to scroll back up to number 4, minimum wage, we have marriage, divorce laws, regulate interstate commerce. Well, regulate foreign trade is here, right? That's an express power. Number 6, regulate commerce, is right here, right? And then what was the other one? Marriage and divorce laws. That was also up here, I believe. No, it was, create marriage laws, there it is. The only one that wasn't there was levy taxes, right? Which is going to be the answer to number 12, which is C. Wait, was that here? Oh, there it is. So sometimes you have to be aware that previous questions often give you previous answers, okay? And that's going to be true on your SOL, that's going to be true on other tests that you take, especially on eCart and with topics such as this. Okay, it looks like the rest of the tests you guys did pretty solid, 80%, or close. Build a law, you did pretty good. Even this one, 16 is often a tough one, and you picked out United States, right? United States there, that was good. You'll probably see something similar to that on your test. Checks and balances, I was very happy with how you did on that one, and understanding what Congress is. So, overall, you know, it could have been better, but there's only about 5 or 6 tough ones that I really found. Okay, hope this helped.